Your call is important to us. Please hold the line.
All operators are busy at the moment. We apologize for the wait and will answer you shortly. Our operators are busy at the moment. Your call is being transferred. Thank you for calling.
Well, it's that time, folks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Hotline Live. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who are joining us on the live stream, be sure and light up the chat because we got a lot to cover today. We are talking about Knott Scary Farm's 50th anniversary. Truly a giant year. We've got a lot to go over, and I can't do it alone, so please welcome to the studio via the interwebs, Mr. E from TLEV Media. What's up, my friend?
Dude, I'm here. I'm so excited. Holy moly, that was an intro. That hyped me up. I see that a lot of you guys got hyped by that. Jeez, man, I'm so ready for this. Let's talk. Let's talk about Scary Farm. I'm excited.
It's finally here, man. The 50th anniversary of Knott Scary Farm. I feel like we've been speculating for so long. We've been, building it up. I see we both got our lanterns. We're ready to go, man.
Yep,
we're ready for anything,
there.
baby.
Back there. Yeah. I got the green light, for the elixir a little bit.
I like it.
We got to try that this year. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Oh man. Gonna go to the chat real quick. Jacob Garcia, what's up, man? Shout out. Of course, the boy Daylon. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Halloween Hunters. What's up? Kiddo, some ghosts. Of course. Funny enough, there's actually an owl somewhere in my backyard right now.
Oh,
I feel like it's perfect. It's spooky. It's like
they were called over by that intro. That's why they were called over. That's what happened.
Rob, the Howling Hour. What's up, my friend?
Rob.
Shout out to everyone joining us live. We're going to go over pretty much the entire event, but of course, we're going to start by talking about everything new that came this year in 2023 for the 50th anniversary. Let's dive right into it, man, because like I said, we've got a lot to cover. We're going to start by talking about the mazes. Of course, the bread and butter of the event, the thing that I definitely look forward to the most. Starting with one of three new mazes, Room 13.
Room 13.
Oh, yeah, man. Located in the arcade by the Goring 20s. Mr. E, let us know. What did you think of Room 13?
Room 13. So that's the first ever maze I went through during that event. I mean,
nice.
This was the first house. Got to walk through Goring 20s right beforehand, and I forgot how mean they are over there. It was a rude awakening, but of course we love it. It's like it really throws me back to kind of the Tower of Terror. How they were kind of really mean there and stuff like that. If you guys remember that, I don't know. But anyways, walking through there already, I was like, "Oh, that hurts." And then we line up for Room 13. And right in the front, they had like a bouncer kind of right at the front of it. And already he was being mean also. He was getting upset. I was pulling out my camera. He's like, "What are you doing with that? You're causing a backup in the line." I was like, "Oh gosh." And then I had Miss E with me that night too. And he asked her, he's like, Are you with him? He's like, "Oh boy, I don't know why you're with him." And I was like, "Oh geez," it hurt. It really hurt. But I mean, man, we walked that house or maze. Sorry, I keep calling them houses. I had to get used to it.
It's so confusing. It's so confusing,
I had to
man.
get used to that. But we walked through that maze, and I mean, it was a good addition, that's for sure. I very much enjoyed them bringing this, kind of expanding on the Goring 20s, the story of the elixir and how it's made. That was really cool. my favorite scene probably in that maze was the building scene. That was cool. Where
Yeah,
we're on
where
the
you're outdoors.
skyscrapers. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really well done.
Super clever, man. Super clever.
Very clever. Very clever. But I think, you know, when we went, there just wasn't a lot of scare actors at that point.
Interesting.
We were kind of missing some scares. The line kind of slowed down a little bit. But it was still very beautiful. And I do see a lot of like space for them to add more and to expand on the storyline.
Absolutely, yeah. I my review of it basically is it's a good year one maze. Like it's a solid run for the first season of it. That's the nice thing about Knott's mazes is that we get them for a couple of years, so things change, things improve. I for one loved the setting. I mean, when you walk into that hotel lobby, my word, it is gorgeous. It really does feel like you're in a hotel. It's nuts, man. It is absolutely nuts. Yeah, and the beautiful green centerpiece. That's, you know,
gosh, right at the beginning, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I like the room where you have the guy who's kind of like losing his mind about what they're doing in room 13 and all that. That was really cool because the lights would be flashing, so sometimes you would see him, and then he'd be moving across the corner. He'd be like, it's this guy doing it. I was like, oh my god, you're creepy, dude. You're creepy.
They got me probably 3 times really good in that maze,
Really?
man. Really good. Like
Let me hear it.
There was one scare. It was in the music room where they had the piano, right? I was so focused on the piano and like being like, oh, this is cool. It's like a little club. There was somebody sitting at a table that like turned to me and scared me. I felt a jolt like go through my leg, man. Like I was just like, ah.
No.
They wrecked me, man. They got me so good at that part.
They got me in the skyscrapers because I didn't see that there was someone outside with us, and he just starts banging on the window. That's like he's walking by us, and I was filming, so I wasn't really looking at here. I was like, "What? Jeez, dude." Yeah, there were some good scares in there. I wish either we were missing the scares, or there wasn't all the scare actors in there. We went. I'm trying to remember what time we went in around. I think we went in around like 8:30 or 9 p.m. So we're in the event now. So I would expect a lot of scare actors in there, but I'm banking on the fact that we just missed the scares. That's it. I think that's what it was. I'm hoping.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree, man. So yeah, it was cool. We got a comment here. It was cool seeing the source of the elixir. It was pretty cool. I love the effect they had in the first room in the bar where the elixir lights up and there's like a cool audio cue.
Was awesome. That was awesome because I walk in there and I was so shocked seeing that. I was like, what is this? Like, what's going on in here? I don't know. If you guys see our video, I'm like freaking out in there, and this guy's just like, come over here, come get some elixir. He had no clue I already had 2 elixirs in me that night, but he was come for more, come for more. But yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Adventure Industries asked, did you try the Devil's Elixir? Such a good drink, man.
It's great.
Delicious.
If you guys haven't tried it, I hope you guys are of age to try it for sure. It tastes like the Sour Patch watermelon.
Oh,
if you guys like those, to me, that's what it tastes like. Oh my gosh, it was so yummy. It was so yummy.
Yeah, there's definitely like a little hint of pineapple there. It's very fruity, it's very tropical, but refreshing as hell.
It was.
So
if you don't like sweet drinks, maybe it's not for you, but
sure.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so good. Absolutely so good. Shout out to Michael. What's up, brother? Love the shirt. Hey man, this is the Midsummer Scream exclusive.
I didn't even know they had an exclusive for Midsummer Scream. Whoa.
Yeah, they shared the QR code in the panel, and I think there's another place you can get it.
That's right. That's when they were showing all the merch. I don't know if you guys were there for Midsummer Scream, but man, their merch guy was going crazy. He was making us laugh. That was awesome. And there's a lot of good merch this year. There's a lot of good merch.
They're killing it. We're gonna talk about the lanterns a little later, overall, excellent merch. Dude, Dalen, thanks for the support. Yeah, make sure to like the live, drop a comment, drop in the chat. And if you're tuning in and you're not subscribed, subscribe, y'all.
Come on,
this is what we do.
Why aren't
this
you
is
guys
all we do.
look at the professionalism right here that already John's got going on, guys. This is beautiful stuff right here.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. Before we move on, one question here. Egward, HHN or Scary Farm in 2023?
Whoa. I think
Man.
Edward will come back to that. Okay. I think we'll come back to
Yeah.
that towards the end. That's a great question. That is a great
Very
question.
good question.
But
Absolutely.
I don't want to get onto HHN right now, guys. All right. I want to stick because I have a lot to say about that too. But let's stick with Scary Farm for right now.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk about that for sure. But yeah, overall, Room 13, lots of fun. Love the setting. I'm excited to see it grow. I'm hoping that the soundtrack grows a little bit. I felt like it was, for the most part, it was kind of the same song throughout the entire maze.
It was like it was some kind of sound you just kept hearing. It was like a
Yeah,
I agree. I hope that they expand on the music.
But solid year one. I mean, it was cool to finally see the origin of the elixir and to have a maze attached to the Goring 20s. Love it.
I
Love
agree.
it. It was
I agree.
a
That's really
long
cool.
time coming. Next up on the list, the next new maze for 2023, the Chilling Chambers, located in Camp Snoopy, formerly Pumpkin Eater. This is the anthology maze for 2023 that highlights not Scary Farm's past. Mr. E, what are your thoughts on the Chilling Chambers, friend?
All right. So let me give a backstory first before I start digging into Chilling Chambers a little bit. Okay. So we started going. Our first ever year was 2018. Me and the other members of TLEV. We started going in 2018. So we were fairly new, and we're still fairly new to the event, I would say. Chilling Chambers very much talks about and like shows a bunch of mazes that we never went through. So when we walk through it, let me start off by saying it's beautiful. It is beautiful. The beginning where we're walking, what are we walking through at the beginning? It's like
It's
entering
the asylum.
The asylum. Well, before the asylum,
the mausoleum.
The mausoleum. There we go.
Yeah,
Another mausoleum for this year. I like that.
Competing mausoleums.
We walked through the mausoleum, and that is beautiful. I really like what they did with the mausoleum. Then we go through asylum. And I knew a little bit about asylum because I have friends like John here and Nico from Entertainment Connection who always talk about some of the old houses or old mazes like asylum.
Sure.
But
We're
then
big
after
nerds.
that, there we go. Yeah. Well, there was a little piece of Pumpkin Eater before, right?
Yes,
like
a little homage, like right when you walk into the mausoleum. In fact, it sucks that we have to walk through there so fast because on that mausoleum, there's so many fun little artifacts of mazes past represented there. And that's kind of what I love for the most part about the Chilling Chambers is the homage to the past. There's so much to take in, man.
That's true.
So much to take in.
Yeah, there is a lot to take in. And I think that's our issue is we only went through it once that night. Gotcha. And so when we went through, the only two mazes I really knew were Pumpkin Eater, the slight little snippet of Pumpkin Eater, and then Asylum. After that, I was lost. I was lost on what we were walking through. I see that they brought a bunch of very big and fan favorite mazes, but to me, I couldn't connect with them.
Sure.
I think also our issue again, we didn't have a great run. Scare actors were missing in some areas. And I just couldn't. My issue. It seems like it's a big reuse of props from the past. Now, don't get me wrong. That's cool.
Sure.
That's cool. But what I love about Knott is seeing like the new stuff and expanding on huge, beautiful like sets and stuff like that. Sure. And to me, Asylum was that, but then afterwards, it just seemed to get smaller and smaller after Asylum, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm walking through now. Am I still in the same maze from before, or am I in a brand new one? You know, we went from dancing in the Chupacabra area to straight into a circus. And I was like, wait, hold on. That was really short. That was really, really short for a change.
Right.
And then what got me really upset about this maze, and I talked about it in the video, I didn't see a real physical keeper. Okay.
Right.
Now, keeper fringes, okay, as he says throughout, is a screen. and he's not there.
Right.
Like, I get it. The actor himself who plays a keeper, he's got a lot to do and he's very busy. But come on, we have some amazing scare actors out there who could totally play in that role too. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was kind of upset not seeing the keeper in physical form like we saw at Midsummer Scream. Like that I think that's my problem is I saw him realistically, and I saw on the blueprints and on the sketches and stuff like that, like he's actually there.
Right.
He wasn't actually there. I was like,
right.
Damn.
Yeah. Hopefully down the line we get a real keeper. I understand why they kind of didn't do it. They wanted to make the keeper that was presented to us the host, right? So the best way to do that, I think, the performer who plays the keeper is I think he's the mayor of a town right now, so he's a little busy.
He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy.
So I understand why they do it. Although, I agree with you. I think, again, year one for the maze, pretty excellent. I think in the future, I would love to at least get one keeper scare in person.
That would be cool.
It doesn't even have to talk. Come at me, scare the shit out of me, and go into the fog. You know what I mean? Like that's totally fine with me.
Like at the end where it showed the big 50th sign at the way end of the maze,
In the graveyard,
see behind him that there right behind the 50th sign is a huge like mannequin of the keeper. So I'm like, okay, did we just not have him that run, or are they just keeping it that way for right now? But I don't know. I have a feeling like later down the line where they can the keeper can come back from the dead and not be performing at a different place. Maybe that's where he's gonna be. Will be at the end of the maze, and that would be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the comments real quick. Lex Chavez. I wish I saw the keeper too. Absolutely. And then, having worked in Chilling Chambers, it's a fun maze and beautiful sets. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, Lex. Yeah.
Adventure Industries, a live keeper or Sinister Seymour, inspired by Sinister Seymour would be good too. Howling Hour, Rob, great point here. It would have been amazing to do it behind the scenes. Y'all, I am keeping my fingers crossed. I want to work on something where hopefully on location we get to walk through the Chilling Chambers and get a little bit more of an explanation of each room. Because like you, Mr. E, I didn't really I connected with some of the past, but a lot of the past I didn't know. So I think it would be nice to get a little more in depth. And also, I'm gonna plug Ted's book here. If you guys haven't, haven't bought it yet, amazing book on the history of Not Scary Farm. Of course, some of those mazes are explained there. But fingers crossed. I hope I'm able to do something for you guys here. And the Knights of Horror in the house. Goated Maze, been through it 4 times so far this year. Nice. I
don't even know how he fits inside that maze. He's too tall for it. I don't know how he does it. Hey, Anthony, try not to get scared challenge. I'm ready, dude.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. Shout out to HHN, or I'm sorry, Halloween 365. What's up? Thank you for joining us. But overall though, pretty solid maze.
Yeah, I like what you say, and I keep remember that you keep saying it, John, that this is the first year maze. Like that's my problem is I'm a Horror Nights person, so I just keep thinking about how it's one and done, and then it's like we never see it again. So or we'll see it again, but later down the line where you kind of forget about it. So I mean, that's I gotta remember that.
And the beauty of it too is that down the line, right? I mean, the Knott's lifespan of a maze is usually 5-6 years if you're lucky. The nice thing is that down the line, you can definitely switch out those rooms to feature other mazes.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to talk about that. We talked about that off air, guys. Like, what if we add like they do different mazes in there? That would be sick.
Yeah. And I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. So bright future and really awesome present for the Chilling Chambers, I think, overall. Excellent job, y'all. I love it. Knott's history, rich history, celebrated in the best way possible. And next on our list is probably my favorite of the season. In fact, my favorite of the season so far, including Horror Nights. This is number one in my heart. I know, man. Shots fired. We're coming for you, Horror Nights.
Hey,
Cinema slasher. A beautiful, truly masterpiece of a maze. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah.
As a lover
was
of
awesome.
horror movies and also just going to the movies in general, wow. I mean, this ticked so many boxes for me.
Yeah.
Incredible scenic, really intense scares. The soundtrack was awesome. I mean, it's ironic, but it's incredibly cinematic. Mr. E, what are your thoughts on Cinema Slasher?
Dude, I am on board that is like one of the best mazes of this year. I think that is number one at Knott's this year too.
For sure.
Oh my gosh. I was fully immersed into that story already. Right at the
Yes.
beginning, it smells like popcorn. It smells like you're going to get your food for a movie. Dude, I love the effect they did with the black light and that
Oh,
makeup at the
dude,
beginning.
so good.
You know, that was freaking awesome. I mean, I know it might be like something super simple to do, but whoa, that was amazing.
Super
then
effective.
Super effective. I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even see the freaking
Right.
paint on him at all. Like the person who was standing there. That was awesome. Walking through the screens, walking through the movie, getting that feel of old like Titans of Terror slasher movies. Right at the
Yeah.
beginning, you kind of got like the boogeyman. Then you got the Jason storyline.
Right.
And what I love is the end of the maze, where now you are the movie, where you're
Right.
coming out of the screen now instead
Yeah.
of going in the screen. Oh,
I'm
my
getting
gosh.
chills. You're talking about
Oh
it. I'm getting
my
chills,
God.
dude.
The bungee jumping ushers.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was so much fun. That was I was just like, I don't want to get out of this. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end.
And it felt like it went on forever too, man. Like it's
it was a
crazy.
long one. It was a long one too.
It-
Yeah.
it's nuts
Yeah.
that it's the same footprint as Dark Ride because it feels like it's somehow like 2 times bigger. I don't understand how they do that. Like
Yep.
it's incredible how they do that. And the creature at the end, dude, the big cinema creature.
Oh my gosh.
With all the
that's
film
huge.
strips and the light coming out of its eye. I mean,
What about the
holy
mega
crap.
chainsaw that we got?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Take
was
that, HHN.
gnarly. Oh my gosh, that thing was gnarly. Oh wow, that was so
But yeah,
sick. It was.
It,
so
it touches on so much, right? You mentioned like Jason, Friday the 13th, a little bit of I know what you did last summer in there with the Fisherman's Wharf.
Yep.
Then there's also a little bit of Texas Chainsaw, of course. I mean, yeah, it was so cool. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but when you go through the theaters before the movie, Ariana pointed this out to me. Every theater is themed to the movie that you're about to walk into. So, for instance, when you're about to walk into the Camp Gonna Get You, there's like barnacles on the people sitting in the seats. There's what is that? The green stuff? I forgot what it's
kelp
called.
or
A kelp?
seaweed?
Yeah. It's like hanging from the ceiling. So every room kind of ties into the movie that you're about to walk into. And
gotta
dude,
go again.
shout out to Jared and also the media team at Knott's. Those shorts are so awesome.
Oh my
gosh,
that is yeah.
They capture the magic of like slasher films so well. I hope they release those. I really hope they release those.
Some
on
of those
YouTube or
kills
something.
were gnarly. I mean,
Yeah, man.
the one we saw when we are going into Camp Gonna Get You was I think it was the row like the whatever it's called, the paddle. And
The paddle,
he was
yeah.
pushing it through the dude's neck. I was like, oh my God. I had to move the camera away. I was like, I don't think YouTube will approve of this. I was like, I got to stop this right now.
It's pretty brutal, man. Pretty brutal. But I mean, this maze has my heart. I loved Dark Ride, and I was so sad when it left. Dark Ride is like top 10, maybe top 5 for me. And I'm just glad that we got its replacement that is, dare I say, better than Dark Ride. I mean, that's huge,
fair.
man.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
that's very fair.
loved it so much.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Let's go to the comments here. Let's see. Number 1, Cinema Slasher, right there with you, Rob.
You're right,
Right
Rob.
there with
You're
you,
right.
brother.
You're right.
Yeah, Cinema Slasher won my heart this year. It was love at first sight, y'all, for me,
It
for
was
sure.
awesome. It
Oh
was
yeah,
so
oh
fun.
yeah. Good question here. What were the average wait times for Scary Farm?
Ooh, okay.
Sandra, at times it was a little busy, 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour. I never saw a maze, though, get more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the most. That is what I love about Not Scary Farm, is that, yeah, it gets crowded, yeah, it gets crazy, but it never gets like Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood crazy, where
Yeah.
it's where they're shutting down lines, or it's 2-3 hour waits for stuff.
And I have theories for that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have theories.
All right.
Oh,
All
okay, yeah,
right.
I'll just say now. I think it's because of that chaperone policy. I think that's a
Sure.
huge thing that Knott is playing to their advantage, and I love the chaperone policy.
Yeah, I do
think
too.
that
And
is a big difference between Horror Nights and Knott's, and that's probably something that also plays in the wait times, in my
right,
opinion.
and I remember when they first enacted the chaperone policy last year, there was a couple of days there, like mid run, where I was like, there is nobody here, and I
Yeah.
love it because I know it's a crazy concept. If you go to
Yeah.
a Halloween event and you actually get to do the stuff that's at the Halloween event, I know that's asking a lot, but thank you, Knots, for making it possible for us to do that.
Exactly.
Lex Chavez, Cinema Slash is my favorite of the season. Hands down, it's like the HHN Usher maze I never got to go through. Oh, good point. Yeah. So it's funny. There's I feel like there's a little bit of crossover there between Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, right? Orlando is big on the HHN bear. Well, baby, now we got the Not Scary Farm bear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then also, like, I love Horror Nights Orlando. I love the design out there. There was a lot of portions of this that, to me, felt like a Horror Nights maze from Orlando, because the depth that they were able to achieve in some of these scenes, especially the boat. When you walk in and you see the boat, the way that room is laid out, I mean, it feels ginormous. It feels like you're really seaside at a dock. It's incredible, man. Absolutely incredible.
I agree. I always felt like HHN in Orlando is very much coincides with how Knott's does their mazes out here and their event out here. Very much scenic and like beautiful sets.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
That's how I always felt about it.
Yeah, I love it. Lex Chavez, I can still hear the entrance song. Yeah, the fact that they use the "Let's all go to the law," perfect, perfect. It's perfect, man.
That was cool. That was cool.
Oh, Anthony coming in with a hot take here. Might be a better puppet than the one in Mesmer. That cinema puppet is so dope. I mean, yeah. I mean, for sure. Yeah. This is a great point. Dark Ride had the big stage that took a lot of room. I wonder, where the hell is that stage?
I'm wondering if that's where the big chainsaw is, or because that chainsaw, the platform they're on is a huge platform. And then we do like a little zigzag.
Right.
So I would assume maybe over there. And that
I'm
might
gonna have
be
to pay a little more attention.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to pay a little more attention next time I'm there. Oh, Captain EO, hey online, glad to hear that us in cinema are your favorite. I'm the slasher you keep saying, dude. You blew my mind. All right, so get this, right? I'm walking through the maze, and this amazing performer gives me the fucking phone, and I was like,
oh, dude, that is awesome. That's it right there.
Shout out to you, Captain EO. I love it, man. Oh yeah, mystery is correct. Okay, all right, yeah, you nailed it then. About the stage. I think about
the stage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go.
Damn, if those wait times were true for HHN, I had to wait 20 minutes for Exorcist just to open back up. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll make a video about that later, guys.
And Rob, excellent point here. First Friday last year, we were done with all the mazes by 10:30 with a GA ticket. That's the beauty of Knott's, baby. You can actually enjoy the event.
The GA ticket's worth like something. Like it's like
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, well, that covers all of the new mazes for this season. I mean, honestly, what a stellar lineup. Powerful lineup for sure.
They did great.
Truly incredible, man. Yeah, so shout out to all the designers, and special shout out to Daniel Miller, John Cook for Cinema Slasher. Y'all, thank you.
That was a genius idea. I mean, I wonder if they got ideas from other events to do something like that. But I mean, it was beautiful. It's like it's kind of like a simple idea, but like they just executed it so well. And
Absolutely.
I can't wait to go through it again. And hey, maybe they're going to change up the slashers in the future.
I mean, they definitely could, right? There was posters in the lobby for
there
different
is
movies.
Yes, there is.
You know, they have one for Doll Factory. They have one. They have Hatchet High in there. So I think
so
it would be pretty
maybe
cool
a little
to see
teaser,
those.
huh? Maybe they're teasing us a little bit, huh?
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't mind that at all. Also, not sell those posters. Damn it, I want them. I want one of those posters so bad. I would hang that fast on a wall or buy it on a shirt for sure. Give us the posters, y'all. Good stuff. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the shows. Because we have, I'm sorry. Actually, we're moving on to the new scare zone for this season. I got ahead of myself.
Yeah. No, you're good.
The Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is all new for 2023. Located in Camp Snoopy, formerly the Hollow. Definitely a very interesting concept. A returning legendary scare zone.
Mystery,
What are your thoughts on the Gauntlet, man?
So I mean, I never went through it when it was there, like beforehand. So this is my first ever time going through the Gauntlet. What I get is like a sense. It's kind of like a fairy tale, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, medieval kind of.
Right.
Okay, all right. So I mean, scare actors were killing it in there. There's this one guy with a whip who was just kept coming at us with it. That was really awesome. Some really cool wizards in there too.
Sure.
I mean, it was a lot of fun. We went through it when it was dusk, so it was getting darker out there. So we were able to actually like look at all the makeup design and stuff like that more and more. There's this one wizard. I swear he must have been like, he really reminded me. He was like wearing like Doctor Strange, like cloaks and stuff like that.
Nice.
And he had this long hair and he bloodied eyes. But man, he looked creepy, and I was like, "But that's badass!" Like it was cool. So I like what they're doing with it. It's really cool. I'm happy that they brought it back, so I got to experience it. I think it's a good addition for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I love the costuming out there. Absolutely gorgeous. Like you said, the makeup is really cool too. I definitely though miss a little bit of the show aspect of the Hollow. Right? They had. Like the burning that they would do every night. They had little show moments like that. I kind of would love that for the Gauntlet. Again, it's the first season of it. It's the first season of a brand new scare zone, so it could only go up from here, really.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would love to see some show moments. I would love to see a little bit more scenic, much in the way that Forsaken Lake has improved year by year. I would love to see something happen in the Gauntlet, kind of similar. To Forsaken Lake, where they do the procession. They already walk around with some drums, which is pretty fun. And they do have like little impromptu moments, but I would definitely love to see them hammer in and really give us some pretty epic show moments in that area.
Good old expansion for it. Yeah, I would like that. I would like that, but they're starting. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
And they definitely got me a good couple times there. And the interactions are a lot of fun too. Yeah, sliders, dude. Sliders every time.
Gotta love our sliders.
All right, now we're going to move on to the shows. We had 3, I guess, technically 4 shows. Technically only 3 that are brand new for this season. Starting with the one that we were speculating about for a while and that actually came true. I never thought it was. The Hanging Uncanceled.
Yep.
You know, what are your thoughts on the Hanging Uncanceled mystery? I'm going to let you start.
I mean, it's a hanging. It's like they're making fun of everybody. I like what they do. They make fun of Disney. They make fun of all the other parks. They make fun of Universal. I very much like the theme park jokes. Some of the jokes just didn't land. It might have been. We also went on the first night. So in the final show of the first night, so it seemed like the actors were a bit tired. They were kind of missing their cues a little bit. But. I mean, again, it's the hanging. Some jokes hit, some jokes don't. And I think it really depends on the crowd you have that night.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
it's back.
The hanging part, the hanging part, who they hung at the end, I was like, All right, I get. I mean, I don't want to spoil. We don't want to spoil it, right, John? Or I don't know.
Right. Now we'll keep it spoiler free for those of
Will
you who have
keep it
not
spoiler
seen it.
free, but like I was like the person or persons that they hung at the end to me screamed very much like 2018, 2017 kind of meme stuff. So
Yeah.
I was like, nah, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
some of the jokes were a little
I
too
get it.
dated.
Yeah.
And the fake out of who they were going to hang versus who they actually hung.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see the fake out actually be the one who
Right.
got hung.
Right. They kind of like jumped the yeah, they were like, that's getting I don't know why I don't know why they did that.
Right.
I wonder why they did that, because it was the first, like the fake out was like it makes sense for the time right now, and then the other one I was just like, that just don't make sense.
Yeah,
that's old, guys.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to the writing. Unfortunately, it's very hard to keep up with the times, but it is possible.
They should have just done Logan Paul again. All right, he's always somehow getting canceled. So just if we're gonna do some cheap stuff, just go back to Logan Paul or whatever. Just do that again. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian has a great point here. We really needed the Green Witch, like at the announcement ceremony. I was really hoping that the hanging was going to be a little bit more based on Not Scary Farm history and involving the Green Witch. In fact, I would have really loved to have seen the Green Witch out there roasting people, roasting pop culture, and then, maybe hanging the lawman like they did in 2019, something like that. In fact,
sorry, but it kind of starts with like giving us like a hint like the Green Witch is going to be there, but then
they make a big joke of it. And to me, it's your anniversary year. Yeah. It should feel like an anniversary show. Instead, in fact, there's a comment that I found on YouTube under somebody's video. I want to read it real quick. It says, just a bunch of people crying that they can't say things that they are literally saying. It was not as edgy as they said it was going to be. And I kind of agree with that. The whole show kind of felt whiny. About how you can't be funny anymore. You spent too much time being like,
that's
can't make
true.
Jokes.
That's true. There was that big like thing. I was like, oh, we're not allowed to make jokes anymore. And then at the end, they're like, we should always be able to make jokes. And it's like, then just make the jokes. Like, just do it there. Right. We walked in. Like, you guys put signs out there that everyone's gonna be made fun of. Like, okay, then do it. Do it.
Yeah.
But again, they know it's going to go on social media. So they're like, we're going to get canceled. Like right away, right after the first day, right away. TikTok. I was seeing all the Phantasmic stuff.
Oh, man.
The Disney lovers were really pissed about it. And I'm like, that's such a like minute joke. And you guys were already freaking out about it because it was on social media. They were losing their mind. I was like, oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
Guys. Jeez,
I wish it had stuck to more of that. Like, I love that they made fun of themselves with security being crazy about the bags.
That was good. That was
hilarious.
Good.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the Murph joke. Hilarious. More of that, less whining.
Yes.
And I also miss how big the stunts used to be. I watched a video of like 2019 and people were flying off the stage and there was blood packs everywhere and pyro and dance numbers. I miss what it was, even though back then it was still pretty terrible, but at least back then it was like so bad that it was good.
Fun. It was fun to watch. Like there's not parkour, but there's stunts. There's literal stunts that they're going wild. Yeah, I agree, John. Like that was really cool. And I also agree, like, if you're not gonna go all the way with the jokes, then do theme park jokes. Like go after both theme parks.
Right.
That is funny. Like everybody that's there knows about theme park, like the things that are happening in the theme park. So just go at the theme parks then. That's funny.
Make fun of Disney, make fun of Horror Nights,
Disney, Universal, SeaWorld. Exactly. Go after all of them. Just do that.
Yeah, Larissa's got a great point. The tone of the hanging was very bitter. Yeah, again, I feel like they spent the whole time whining about not being able to be funny, that they forgot to be funny. So, it is what it is, though. Now moving on to the next show. If you
guys want to go see it, go see it.
Yeah, go see it. Go check it out. Absolutely. And again, I love that they brought back a stunt show. I love a stunt show. I'm love that those stunt people are getting work. Hopefully, if they bring it back next year, it's a little bit more heavy on the stunts and not as heavy on the whining. We'll see.
Yeah. What about the other shows, John? Because I haven't seen the other shows. What did you think of the other ones?
Gotcha. So the next big show is Music, Monsters, and Mayhem. This one is in the Walter Knott Theater, replacing Puppet Up, which, I was sad to see Puppet Up go, but I was actually really happy to at the opportunity to have a show that's based on Knott's history. I'll say this much about this show. First of all, it's getting a lot of heat online right now from
Is it?
the wrong people with the wrong opinions.
No.
And I really hope it doesn't affect the show because it's a huge cast of incredibly talented vocalists, incredibly talented dancers. The lighting is gorgeous. The sets are really fun. And the concept of it, for the most part, I really enjoyed. So I hope it's okay. And I hope, people calm the hell down. But overall, I think it's exactly. Now, to your point, though, Mr. E, I think the weakest part of that show was the comedian aspect of it. I watch a lot of shows. I love live entertainment. We go to Vegas and watch shows all the time. Anytime that there's dancing and a comedian, I'm always like, oh, fuck, here we go.
So there's a comedy aspect to it.
There is a stand-up comedian that comes in between the dance acts. The whole premise is that they're trying to revive previous Knott's hosts, right? Elvira, Wolfman Jack, Sinister Seymour, and they're paying homage to them. But at the end of the day, to be frank and to be honest, I felt like instead of honoring their legacy, they were just kind of poking fun a little too much at the hosts of the past. It felt almost disrespectful to Knott's history, where I wanted you. Yeah, I'm curious to see what other people think about it too. It was borderline disrespectful. I kind of wanted them to just honor and lift up Knott's history again, being the 50th year, but I felt like they kind of diminished it. But I mean, the dance numbers are awesome. Again, the lighting and the effects are really cool. The scenic is really, really cool. So I would say go see it for that. And apologies ahead of time for the stand-up comedian.
Oh no! Oh God. Okay. All right. I mean, I'm planning on going one more time. So, okay, I'll get ready. John.
Yeah. Larissa, great point. The musical was amazing. The set design was gorgeous. The songs were so good. The ending was a riot. I hope Knott stands their ground. I do too. I hope that they don't change a damn thing about the show. Maybe just get rid of the stand-up comedian, and then we'll have a really great show.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. But I think there's some tweaks that could have made it even better. Okay. And then the final show, I think you haven't seen it either.
I haven't.
Dr.
I haven't
Cleaver returns.
No.
This one's in the Birdcage Theater. It's a comedy show. I haven't seen it yet. So I think the nice thing is with our Not Scary Farm season passes, we can go back and check out these shows that we've missed. And yeah, I see Brian. Brian will be back there this weekend to see the shows as well. That's cool. The beauty of the past, that you can. There's so much to do, so much to see. It's nice that we have the season pass this year to be able to go back and experience it all at a leisurely pace.
And yeah, you literally can go back just for the shows if you wanted to. That's the best part about these kind of passes that they do during the haunt season.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, man. I love it. And well, those are all the new offerings for 2023. Before we move on to the old mazes, though, or the returning mazes, I should say, I want to talk about these bad boys for a second. These beauties, these fucking genius things, man.
There it is.
Dude, what did you think about the lanterns?
You know what? I think it's a great addition to this event. I like what they're doing with it. There's these little immersive experiences around the park where you can activate or interactive, not immersive, interactive aspects of the park. So my problem was I left mine at home when I went that one night, opening night, because I went straight from work to the event, and when Josue, another member of TLEV, asked where's the lantern, oh my God, I was gonna cry. I was like, I can't believe I forgot it. But so I got to see people interacting with it, with those sets outside, and that was really cool. Like I really like the one in Forsaken Lake where it's
Yeah.
the lady in like the coffin and then they come to life, and
Yeah.
that was really, really cool. But I haven't seen how it activates inside of mazes. I do know, and I was hearing from a lot of people that for Waxworks, they were telling some people to turn it off in Waxworks. So
Oh,
I don't know
interesting.
if you had some kind of experience like that, John, or if any of you guys did. But yeah, so how does it work with in the mazes? I haven't seen any of that yet.
So it's pretty cool in the mazes, man. Like from at least from what I've noticed, it doesn't like activate anything in the room itself, but the light does react to where you're at in the maze. So for instance, you mentioned Waxworks.
Yeah.
We went through it with Waxworks, and one of the things that really stuck out to me, like the lantern definitely changed colors at times, but at the end, after you become a work of wax yourself, right? That's the ending of Waxworks.
Yeah.
You're walking down the hallway at the end, the light turns off. So your lantern goes away.
Whoa.
And yeah, there's a couple of portions, like for instance, in Dark Entities, there's portions where it starts glowing red, and then other times where it turns off completely. So it's a lot like Lights Out when they did Trick or Treat. Honestly, the coolest thing, man, because you're like, after a while there, you're kind of using it as a crutch, right? Because you're like, oh, it's kind of dark, and then they're like, no more lantern for you.
Sorry, it's gone. You know that you mentioned Trick or Treat? I hope they bring that into Chilling Chambers.
Oh,
that
dude.
I would love to see.
Yeah.
That I would love to see. That'd be so
Yeah.
sick. But
And you know, I'm just saying, the Asylum has the facade for the Asylum shares a lot of similarities to Paranormal Inc. Let's see it come back. Let's see it come back just a little
that'd be
bit.
so
Just-
sick. That'd be
just
so
a little
sick.
tiny portion of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rob had the same experience. He had it on the whole night. In fact, that was I had left. Rob and I hung out in the park a little bit, and I had definitely left my lantern at home. So it was cool getting to see Rob go through the mazes.
That's cool. That's what friends are
And then-
for.
Right, exactly. This is interesting. HHN did something similar with a light up skull a few years back.
Yes, yeah, they did. I'm wondering if they're gonna see the success of Knott's, and maybe they're gonna try to bring something like that back. You know, so
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Lex, whenever I see a guest with a lantern, I definitely love to go all out, give them their money's worth too. A fantastic addition to the event. Thank you for doing that. Honestly,
cool.
like it's so cool to see people so stoked on these things. In fact, I've seen the conductor come up to people, and if their lantern is a certain color, like he'll grab the lantern and he'll blow on it, and it'll go like green. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like,
That's so sick. That's so sick. Yeah, I saw a video of that. I was like, you're cool. You're cool. Love that. Love that. Yeah.
so yeah, love the lanterns. Allegedly, they're thinking about doing something for the holidays for that. So they're
like
planning to-
reusing this one? Oh, God,
probably reusing it, and or they might sell maybe like a red one, like a themed one. You know what I mean? So they're thinking of doing something very similar for the holidays, and I think
I wonder
pretty
if
fun.
This one would work with it too.
I'm sure it would. I think it's the same IR technology, but that'd be pretty funny to walk around with your Knott's lantern,
Yeah,
your Scary
right?
Farm lantern at Christmas.
They'll so change it up. Any way to get more money.
Oh yeah, baby. All right, so to finish off our episode, we're gonna just kind of quickly blast through all the returning mazes, starting with Bloodline 1842. Now you weren't able to go through this one on opening night, right?
I wasn't able to go through that, but I heard there's no more guns, huh?
There are no more guns. Yeah, I was pretty excited when they announced that at the announcement event. And you know, I'm going to be honest. I was hoping that it would really enhance the experience, but unfortunately, it still kind of falls flat to me. I love the idea of the maze. I love the backstory of it, but I was hoping to get a little bit more of that backstory without the guns. Now that you're not worried about like, oh, you know, what am I shooting? What am I doing? Now that you're not worried about any of that, I was hoping that you'd get more of the backstory. But unfortunately, I feel like the actors or the performers in that maze still need more to do. And my biggest thing is I wish they had show cues. Like in the Grimoire, a lot of the performers in Grimoire will activate a show cue that has like a voiceover that says something, that explains something. I want that for Bloodline because I feel like it definitely needs it. It needs a little bit more story behind it, and that's the best way to do it. In fact, I feel like Room 13 could actually benefit from that too, from more story moments, more activated triggers where it's like, here's a blurb. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So wait, so how does the maze start now? Since we don't grab
So
our guns.
that's another kind of disappointment. The
Whoa.
maze, those are kind of a big where you got the guns in the past. It was a pretty big area in the front of the maze, and unfortunately now those areas are just kind of like they literally have like boards, so it looks like boarded up, and then they have like a bunch of like vampire corpses burning. That's it. They didn't do
not
much
even
else.
scare actors?
They have scare actors walking around, but again, they're
okay.
not really doing anything. They're just kind of like shouting at you to like, all right, get out of here, move. Yeah, man. I was hoping that we would get some sort of a show moment. I know that things were kind of tight budget-wise for Not Scary Farm's 50th, so I'm hoping that year 3 of Bloodline we get.
Yeah, this is its second year. Yeah, that's
second
right.
year. Yeah, second year. I hope that year 3 sees us get some improvements to both the beginning and also the finale, where you would drop the guns off. I hope that they do something there to, to really help it out a little bit.
Yeah, because at the end, I remember you would kind of like see like a score and whatever, but I would wonder. Oh man, that's kind of disappointing.
Lex, very interesting tidbit here. I opened up this maze, but it just didn't work at all for me. Less scares and just seems awkward now. It is a little awkward. It is a little awkward.
It's awkward.
It's a little awkward. I'll be honest with you. It looked like it would have a great storyline. It does. Unfortunately, it's very hard to follow in the maze itself, but there is a QR code in front of the house, or I'm sorry, in front of the maze, in front of the maze entrance, where you can scan it, and you can actually watch a video that gives you a little bit more of the backstory.
Wow. So, because I remember, with like what Paranormal Inc., we'd have those TVs outside to like kind of like to just catch us up on like the ghost stories and the ghost hunters, But here they just put a QR code instead of screens in the front.
I think the idea was to do the screens, and then maybe they ran out of production budget for it, and then they just kind of didn't revisit it.
We'll see year 3. We'll see what ends up happening. But man, that's sad, because I remember a lot of people were super excited about it. The first year came with Grimoire, and I was like,
right.
Oh, that's disappointing. Dang, that's so sad.
Great point here from Larissa. I agree about the show moments. I wish they would have let the actors use the gun so we could watch the vamps battle. That would be cool. In fact, you know how Horror Nights kind of does that a lot, where it's like a scare where they're fighting against each other.
Did that for The Last of Us this year. They kind of did that with the whole shooting part. Yeah.
Yeah. That's money.
Yeah,
right
I like
there.
that idea.
Larissa, let's get you in contact with the people at Knott's. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, we gotta put you behind the desk. You're ready for this. You're taking over now, Larissa.
So many big sets being underutilized. I agree. It's a beautiful maze, gorgeous, scenic wise, absolutely beautiful. It just needs a little bit more story, and it needs a little bit more for the performers to do. I hope we get there. Next up on the list, another returning maze, the Grimoire, new for last year. Another pretty big high concept maze. Did you get to go through this one last time?
I didn't go through it, but I'm wondering, any changes from last year?
It's pretty much the same for the most part. They did unfortunately tone down the finale a lot. In year 1, I don't know if you remember. So the whole storyline is that the kids want you to bring the Grimoire back to the treehouse to like restore everything, right?
Yeah.
But then it ends up kind of messing everything up at the end.
Yeah, and we see the book at the end too, like it's right there.
And it's being written. Yeah. So last year, I don't know if you guys remember, toward the end, somebody would actually bring the book to the treehouse, and it would activate the treehouse, like it would change colors, and there would be a whole show moment. They got rid of that. So now
I didn't even get to see that last year.
That's a bummer, man. Yeah. See, this is another one where it's like,
oh my God,
very, very high concept, but it's hard to tell such a detailed story when you're rushing through a maze, right? You got like 30 seconds top to make this happen and have people understand it. So this is another one where it kind of fell flat. And now that they've toned down the ending, like I was really bummed, because I'm like, y'all, that was a really cool show moment. Hopefully, again, year 3, maybe they bring it back. Maybe they tweak some stuff. Still, again, scenic wise, beautiful maze. Beautiful maze.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
And there's a little interaction in front of Grimoire for your lanterns. I saw.
Yes,
the
spiders.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so
That's
spooky.
cool.
So spooky. All right, now let's go to the next returning maze, the Depths, in its final year. Unfortunately, this is the final
Man.
year that you will be able to experience the Depths. Mr. E, what are your thoughts on the final
You
year,
know,
man?
so the Depths was the first. No, actually, no. I stand corrected because what was our first ever one? Oh my god, I'm blanking on it. It's where Cinema Slasher is. What was it? Dark Ride. Dark Ride was our first ever one. Then the Depths was our second ever maze that we did, and I fell in love with it when we did it in 2018. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. And you know, they like this year, it hasn't changed since, but I still love the idea of the Depths. Like you're just going deeper. Like there's this issue that's happening in the mining area, and you're going like, you know, deeper into the story, and then you see what the heck happened with the whole captain and like the undead creatures and stuff like that. It is beautiful. You're going on the ship. The freaking the shark at the end of the maze is like a scare that gets me every single time still. And I just love that maze, and I'm really gonna miss it. It was so much fun. And I hope I see it. I hope to see it in like Chilling Chambers someday, because man, that was a good maze. That was a great maze that they created. I'm gonna have to get that pin for it when they release like if they still do the rest in peace pins again. I gotta get that because
absolutely,
I love it.
Yeah, and I'll never forget turning the corner for the first time and seeing the pirate ship, seeing the Kraken. I mean, or the first time
the Kraken.
Yeah, the Kraken's so cool, man. Or even the first time where you walk through the lake, right? The laser lake. Oh man,
my God.
The first time I went through there, they wrecked me so good, man. Creature of the Black Lagoon is like one of my favorite Universal monster movies, so that gave me Creature of the Black Lagoon vibes for sure.
Yeah. Because I remember when we went through it in 2018, and that whole swamp scene, I was like, because that was the same year that Universal did Universal Monsters for the first time, and they didn't bring the creature. And I turned around at the end of the maze to Thomas and Osway. I was like, this is how they got to do the creature right here. This is how they do it. They do the swamp thing just like this, and they're going to get everybody. So, oh my God, that scare. It's like, it's such a genius scare. It's so easy, but it's like, you don't expect it. You don't see the scare actors unless you're like really searching, and like you don't see them. You don't see them. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to last year do the Beyond the Fog tour, which is when they only offered it last season, and where it was a behind-the-scenes tour of the mazes, and we got to walk through the Depths. And honestly, it was so cool getting to see it with the lights on, and you just catch all the detail that's there. One of my favorites for sure. And yeah, the great point here, Michael. They did actually change something in it. I don't know, the elevator scene. They added a really cool effect where it's like a mine shaft that goes into the horizon, and then you look down and there's like a ladder. Really great effects there. Really great effects.
Yeah. They stopped doing that a while. Because they didn't do it in 2018, but I remember they did it for 2019, and then I don't remember it after that. But it was really cool because it like kind of shakes too, like you're going down. I'm like, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
Captain EO, the Depths always caught too much shit. It has killer atmosphere. Absolutely.
I know. I don't get how people hate on it. It was
such good vibes. So beautiful.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the elevator scene. It was kind of whack, but I think it set up the premise decently well. It was a great attempt at doing that. It always makes me think though, Pirates Cave Haunt, when they did.
If you guys ever did Pirates Cave, that was so sick that they did that in someone's backyard. Oh my God!
Shout out to the Larsons, Jacob working at Knott's now, fucking killing the effects out there. Good shit, man. Good shit.
Good stuff.
All right, next up, it's the second maze to leave us this season, Dark Entities. You were able to go through this one, Mr. E, right?
I did. I never really cared for Dark Entities, but we did have a really solid run for the final year. Because I walked through that just thinking, I was like, I know where these scares come from, and it's like it doesn't get me much. But this time they did really well, because the scare actors, maybe they felt like they felt my own ambiance of that situation, where I was just like, I don't care that much. but they were following me. They were following me like into the
Nice.
next scene. I was like, what's going on here? I'm like, I thought you guys stopped. And then they'd follow me until like an alien would be coming out. I was like, what the geez? So it was a good run for the final year, but I think it served its time.
Yes.
I think it is time for it to go.
Yeah, I agree. Great concept. I had a moment with the robot at front, and I was like, "You've done good, buddy. Good job."
Yeah.
And then
That
one of my
robot,
favorite,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, just fucking working overtime. You know what I mean? And one of my favorite parts is the medical scene where they're like, he's trying to put the person back together.
Yeah,
and he's like,
and he's just like, yeah, he's freaking out. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good
it
one.
definitely grew on me. There's definitely like a good amount of cheese to it. And it feels like an episode of a very twisted episode of Star Trek. So yeah, it definitely grew on me. Oh yeah, I appreciate interactive hand scanners. Well, dark entities. More mazes should have that sort of thing. It goes a long way for immersion. I agree. I tried them this season. They weren't working, man. So it looks like the hand scanners.
I didn't even know they used to do that.
Yeah, man. So there was various spots where you would put your hand on a scanner, it would make a noise, and then it would activate something in the room.
I wish I knew that. I knew that.
So unfortunately, they weren't working. At least the time that I went. Maybe down the line they'll start working again. But
yeah,
thank you for your time, Dark Entities.
Yes, thank you. Rest in peace. But it's time. Goodbye.
And then Mesmer, of course, came back. Not a ton of changes to it, but
okay.
I mean, still super awesome. I really enjoy Mesmer.
It's a great one.
Yeah. The sound design is so trippy, man, and it really does feel like you're getting hypnotized. And, you know, we've been through that spot many times, Shadowlands, Black Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, but Mesmer feels like 3 times bigger than those mazes to me. Like I never truly understand how you walk through it. Like I've got it now more, but the way they use that route, really clever.
Yeah. Did they do that pre-show again this year? Like, no, they stopped it, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So this year it's the pre-show area is kind of like destroyed.
So like last year, where
so like last year, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So
right.
I'm bummed they got rid of that so soon, honestly, because it was a cool aspect to it. I understand that it was probably creating traffic. I get it.
That might be it. It's his 3rd year, right? This is his 3rd year.
Yeah, 3rd year, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know, still in great shape and still, you know, truly a mind fuck of a maze, man.
It is, and it still has like the same like where you're going through everyone's different fears and stuff like that, like the mirrors and like does it have that mirror hall and stuff like that still?
Yeah, still there, all still there. Yeah. Daniel Miller, you twisted man. Thank you for Mesmer, beautiful maze for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
And now we're coming down to our final 2 returning mazes of 2023. And I think, folks, next year is probably going to be the final year for these 2, which is a huge bummer because they're coming up on their 5th year, starting with Waxworks, which this last time that I went through it, consistently, we've done it, I think, 3 times on opening weekend, consistently wrecked me every single time.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, dude. The performers in Waxworks are on it, man. The ambience is so good. Honestly, Waxworks has, through the years, definitely shot up to like a top 10 maze for myself. And the runs that we've gotten this season, on fire, man.
Really?
Truly on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, were you able to do Waxworks at all this opening weekend?
Not this year, but you know, every other year we've never had like a great run in Waxworks.
Interesting.
And I think that's why I wasn't really pushing for us to go this year through it, because I mean we were exhausted, but like just the fact that like because we headed back there to do Dark Entities and the Depths, and then we were like, oh, we got to go catch the last show of the Hanging. So the idea of having to go back over there, we were just like, Waxworks can wait. Bloodline and Waxworks, it can wait. They don't really get us usually, but those can wait. But now that you're saying that they freaking killed it this year every time you've gone through, I'm gonna have to give it a chance again, because scare actors always deserve another chance, because you know, maybe it's just my luck. I just had bad runs, you know. So
give it a shot, man, because again, they were killing it, man. They were killing it. Rob, shouting out to the actors, the scare actors, and Waxworks always kill it for sure.
Yeah.
The farm needs a maze like this every year. Yeah, man, it's a perfect gore maze. It's twisted, it's weird. Again, Daniel Miller, you okay, bro? You doing good?
Dude, yeah. He still has that his big creation, like that one room where,
And
that
thing still works
gross.
too, man. That thing is, it's very Evil Dead. It's very,
it is very Evil Dead. You're right. That thing's gnarly. Yeah.
But yeah, Waxworks, I love it. I think we're gonna lose it next year, and I'm actually pretty bummed to see it go.
That would make sense. It'd be its 5th, right? Yeah.
Now, if you're gonna give the lights out treatment to any maze, Waxworks would be the one, man. I think it would be twisted with the flashlight. I think it would be twisted.
How did that work with a Trick or Treat? Did they just say, all right, this year we're going to do lights out? Or was it always lights out?
No, they did it for the final 2 years of the run. So year 6 and 7 of Trick or Treat. Yeah. They just kind of did a quick overlay to it. They added a room, 2 rooms actually, and then they added the flashlight element. So I think Waxworks probably has a couple more years out of it. So I'm hoping that we get the lights out treatment.
The Trick or Treat, the lights out treatment, that would be sick. That would be sick. I agree.
Absolutely. And then finally on the list, again, I am afraid to say it, but next year might be the final year for Origins. The
man.
Curse of Calico, coming up on the 5th year of its run. This one in particular as well, I would hate to see go. I'm not ready to say goodbye. I'm not ready. You can't make me.
This one, it's a great storyline. The idea of it, the history of Knott's is this maze right here. So it going is it's kind of like a piece of Knott's probably going too and going for rest. So especially when they brought it when they brought it the one year they brought it was very much, that was the focal point. Like everything surrounded Origins afterwards. They were like, we're gonna bring back the Green Witch, like she is going to be the main focus, like, and so they had that whole event. And I'm very surprised that this year for the 50th, I mean, we have the ceremony with the witch,
right?
But then with Sarah Marshall, but then after that, there's not much. Other than Origins, there's not much that connects back to Sarah Marshall anymore.
Right.
So maybe this is their way of like starting to be like, okay, guys, I'm going to start straying away from Sarah Marshall. We're going to take a little breather. Like, sorry, but this has to happen. And I don't want it to happen either, John. I'm on board with you because like this is like Knott's history right here. Is Origins. So
it's very much an anniversary maze without it being an anniversary maze. It's wild. It's truly wild.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know if you see what Hunt says. Origins was a jaw-dropping maze. I agree with that. The whole Sarah Marshall scene where she's going around and the book is right there. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Seeing that for the first time, we lost our freaking minds. It was so awesome.
Yeah, man. Captain EO, I can't imagine what could replace Origins. It was a landmark achievement in Knott's, deepening their lore. It's what kept the Green Witch relevant to the event. I agree. And the fact that it's in Ghost Town, that it's connected to the scare zone, it's literally kind of in the heart of that area, and it branches out from there. I don't know what could replace it. Although Rob's got a pretty good idea here, replacing Origins, Beginnings, the rise of Sarah Marshall.
There you go.
Honestly, bro, a sequel prequel house. I'm all for it.
Cool. That would be cool. I'm thinking like the only things that could replace it is still connecting to Ghost Town. So maybe we get like a Ghost Town Streets maze or something like that. Where we're bringing in the monsters of Ghost Town right into the maze. Like this is their maze though. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. So I don't know. Because like we can't do another Red Barn like in that area. Like I don't think that something like that just doesn't work ananymore over there. Like,
Origins is like peak of that location. We've had a lot of great mazes in that spot. Pinocchio comes to mind for sure. Doll Factory comes to mind. But what can replace Origins? Nothing. Leave it there. Don't touch it.
That's great. It's beautiful. It's everything. Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to do it this year, but I know. We love that one. We love it.
Man. It's a good
beautiful.
one.
It's beautiful.
And well, that's it for 2023, folks. We've gone through pretty much everything. I'm still going to keep going to the event as a season pass holder, so I'll keep talking about it all season long. But Mr. E, you got any final thoughts on Not Scary Farms 50th?
Not Scary Farms 50th. They did it well. They're treating the fans this year. I will be trying to go one more time this year for sure. They killed it. They killed it.
Yeah.
I think this year for horror events they're killing again this year. I can't wait to check out Fright Fest. That's coming up to go check out. I mean, I already know it started, but I'm gonna be checking that out very soon. This is like last year was great, but it just keeps getting better and better. And Scary Farm is just making the competition even harder for these events.
Right.
I mean, this year, the two big ones, Horror Nights and Knott, are killing it. I don't think there's any winners or losers in this situation right now, other than crowds. Like Scary Farm is way superior in like crowd control and like being able to get everything done than Horror Nights. But in what there is this year of mazes, shows, and scare zones and all that stuff, both events have done phenomenal jobs, and I can't wait to be back at both. I can't. I'm loving this year. I'm loving this year.
Absolutely. We're going to bring it back full circle for a second here. We had the question earlier, Not Scary Farm 50th or HHN 2023. For me, it's Not Scary Farm 50 without a doubt.
Not Scary Farm killed it this year.
Yeah, man. They've got the scare zones. They've got the history, the lore. They've got, heavy hitting mazes like Origins and Cinema Slasher. And you can actually go to the event and do these mazes. You can actually go through them without having to wait 2 hours for each one. It's Not Scary Farm for me every damn day.
Hey, that's, you know what? It's hard for me. It's very hard for me. I'm still sticking with Horror Nights this year, just for right now, because I've done it more. I haven't gone on a super busy day yet, though. I haven't done a weekend day. I know it's absolutely not possible to get anything done, but I do recommend, if you guys are just doing general admission for Horror Nights, go at 7. Go on the Thursday, Wednesday, if you can, maybe Friday. For that, start at the upper whatever
the H lot,
the H lot. Start at the H
George
lot where Chucky and Universal Monsters Are Masked, because everybody is going down to the lower lot. But again, Scary Farm killed it right now. It's hard for me to choose. I'm still with Horror Nights just right now. I gotta go one more time for both of the events. But Scary Farm, you killed it this year for their 50th.
Absolutely.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Larissa said it really well. Scary Farm knocked it out. The love and pride is so evident in every corner of the park. Absolutely. It's all there. And
it is.
That's why I think from here until the end of the haunt season, until I go back to Orlando, it's Not Scary Farm for me every night. I don't think I'm going to go back to Horror Nights, to be honest with you.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, HHN Orlando, love it.
That's a whole other topic for another day, my friend.
That is for another day, because we don't have much time. But I've been hearing a lot of Orlando people aren't enjoying it, which is kind of crazy to me. But hey,
interesting.
You know what? That's another topic. For another
time.
Time.
Don't listen to those spoiled brats over there.
Yeah. You guys got it nice out there. Come on, jeez.
Well, Mr. E, thanks for joining us, man. Where can everyone find TLEV Media?
I mean, you guys, it's on YouTube, TLEV Media. Then we got social media, same thing, TLEV Media, all across the board for Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Very, very, I want to highlight TikTok because we have been posting on there a lot. So if you guys want to check that out, we posted a little TikTok about the one scene in Cinema Slasher that we were talking about earlier with the black light makeup, because that scene is just so awesome. So we put it out there for you guys to see and enjoy. So yeah, just all across the board, and go out there and look for us, guys. Thanks, John, for having me, though. This was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun talking about Scary Farm this year. It was awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for joining us. And yeah, thanks for everyone joining us live. Thanks for lighting up the chat. It's always fun talking haunts with y'all.
Thanks,
and stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming on the channel, some more live streams about events too. And thanks again, Mr. E, for joining us.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Cool. All right, everyone. Until the next time, thank you for calling the Hotline. Have a good night, everyone.
Guys.